Hi there. My name is Mark Stacy. Je suis Mark Stacy. Je suis un advocate. I'm an attorney, and I don't know who I'm talking to here today, but hello anyway, and it's good to be here. I, as an attorney, work with a lot of children that are placed in DSS custody. I'm helping parents sometimes get their children back. Sometimes I'm helping children find a good home for them, and that's a really rewarding work. And God has really been blessing me, especially the last few years. I first came to know the folks at Exercise Matinal Missionary Group some 2.5 years ago. Brother Saul and Anna were my clients, and they had been my clients for 5 years before I met Brother Robert and Sister Marlene. But only God can make that happen. And he's, since that time, meeting Brother Robert and Sister Marlene, he's been doing a lot of great things in my life, professionally and personally. I just would say that this group and this missionary group really, truly is like the first century church where folks would sell what they have and help each other. Exercise Matinal tries to do teaching, involved in many community projects. If anyone's hearing me, I would encourage you to call the missionary group, because these folks really care about you. God said in His Word, He said, "If you care about me, you'll feed my sheep." Jesus said that whoever would give a cup of water to someone who was thirsty or helped in any way, He said, "Whatever you do for the least of my brethren, that you've done unto me." And we don't have to look very far, especially in these times now, these tough economic times, to see hurting people. We see people losing jobs. We see people on the brink of despair. But Exercice Matinal are just soldiers for God. Jesus said before He left, He said, "Go." He said, "Go and tell people about me." He said, "All power in heaven and earth He said, I'm given is on me, and go teach, make disciples, teach and help all people." And He says, when we have the power of God in us, His Holy Spirit, He said He'll give us power. Jesus said we'd have more power, and we'd do greater things than Jesus would. And what was Jesus all about? He was all about having the children come to Him. He was about helping each other in any way. He said, if there's needs, that we need to meet our brothers' needs. And who are our brothers? We know the story of the Good Samaritan. They're anyone in the community. It doesn't matter what color they are, what kind of money they have. We just have to look around. There's opportunity. Jesus said there's a harvest around, and the fields are ripe. And that's what this missionary group, Exercice Matinal, they're just simply folks that take God's command to heart, to love God with all your heart and all your soul, and to love your neighbor. And they show that in every way. So I would encourage anybody. I'm an attorney. There's people within the missionary group just from every walks of life. The Apostle Paul said, we're all part of the same body. Some people could be a big toe. Some people could be an arm or leg or the eyes. But we all have a different part. There's parts that whoever's listening to this, that only you can do. In Psalm 139, and it says that God knit us together in our mother's womb. He knows every thought about us, and they're all good thoughts, more than the grains of sand. It said we can't get away from God. If we go to the heights of heaven, the depths of hell, to the furthest part of the sea, we can't get away from God. He's always there, and He made each one of us uniquely qualified. We all have jobs to do. We all have people that we will meet that no one else will. And so God has a plan. He has a purpose, and He made us all different, but He wants us to love one another, to help one another. So this is just an unbelievable group of soldiers in God's army, if you will. that are taking seriously what God said. The Great Commission is to love God with all your heart and to love others. And to love others, he said, if you love me, you'll feed my sheep, you'll meet the needs. So whatever need you may have today, whether if it's like medical problem, if it's a lack of jobs, this isn't it's not a medical agency or a job agency, but we are people who love Jesus. And Jesus said, unless God watches over, he says, unless God builds a house, we labor in vain anyway. And unless God watches over the city, he says the watchman stands guard in vain. So with God at the head of this organization, he's the head of the body, and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. And when we're part of that body, he said we're vines. Paul said we're vines, and Jesus said we are. He's the vine. We're just the branches, and all our life comes through him. And Paul said that we all have different jobs to do. So this is just a great organization. It is fulfilling the job that Jesus had, was to go and make disciples and to love each other. Thank you for having me here today. Bless you.